business.
No more nightclub management, making money every day. All right, y'all good up for all the way to 5 figures a month. Good up for Queen Sim. All right. This next young lady, I have a ton of respect for as well. She actually purchased her first home. She used to drive through the neighborhood and say, one day I'm gonna, one day I'm gonna. I know, because I was there with her saying, one day we're gonna, one day we're gonna. And I was like, okay, we're gonna. And then it took me about a year to realize this is where we drove through the neighborhood developed by Miss Martha Stewart. Give it up for Miss Shana Rawlings. Now, if you get blinded by her ring, she's the second young lady in the entire company to earn the $1 million residual ring. This is Shana Rawlings. She's a $1 million residual ring club earner. And Shana, how has this business been for you? Your posture, your confidence, your life, your family?
Everything has changed. I've been working with Brian for about 18 years now.
Yeah.
But there's something different here. Like I've always said, we have like lightning in a bottle with this company. I purchased my first home in the middle of the pandemic, and like Brian said, in the community I always wanted. We looked at that like in 2008, I think.
Yep.
And I said my first house is going to be here, and it was. This compensation plan is amazing. I am making 5 figures a month, which is just outstanding. I'm able to help other people do the same. I paid off 3 credit cards. So I'm just giving you a rundown of all the things that MWR has been able to do for me. So
including home ownership.
Yes.
And Shana, she ain't gonna put it out there. How much per day you make now?
$400
a day. She makes $400 a day. Right. So you start adding up. That's one of our ways that we get paid every day in her account. $400 hits her account every day. That's $12,000 a month on the minimum side. Right. And it goes now all the way up to $8,500 a day. The next young man I want to bring up actually fired his boss. Done. Over. Finito. Never working again. Right. One of the most highly respected leaders in the organization. Very, very eloquent. Went from teaching our children about life principles to now he's going to show the world how he actually retired 30 years early, right? He's approaching the upper echelon of our compensation plan very, very quickly. And he's been in this game a long time. Give it up for Sean T. Hill.
I'm going to be brief as I can be. First and foremost, isn't Brian doing an amazing
Thank you.
job?
I appreciate it.
He shared it with me, similar to that, June the 9th, 2020, and shared some strategies with me. And, you know, my credit was so bad, they wouldn't even take my cash. Within 90 days, my credit went up 90 points. Uploaded the bills like they told me to do. I got $800 on my internet bill. But the most important thing he taught me was how to fire the people. I mean, I love teaching. I just hate education because education doesn't allow you to teach. And so he showed me some simple things. He just said, invite them to see it. Don't sell it to them. Just show them what we do. Educate on how we're helping people shift. And I did just that. And in 86 days, I was at a Labor Day party, and I realized that what I was being deposited from the school system was exactly what I was being deposited from this business. And I mean, honestly, to be in a position where now it's been over a year, I retired February the 3rd, 2021, been unemployed, unemployable, mentally unfit to work for other people. Literally took a year off. People saw me around, but I had to catch up on life. And to be able to walk into a position where, honestly, I won't even be able to recognize our bank accounts within the next 6 months.
I'm telling you.
It's very hard to sleep. So I said I was going to brief. I'm going to hold true to that. I'm going to get it right back to you.
All right, give it up for him. All right, Sean T. Y'all give it up for Sean T. Hill.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We appreciate your attending today. Today is the grand opening for Miss Carol Rivera out of Zephyrhills, Florida. And my name is Wendell Acosta. I'm also a proud member of the Extradigitmovement. But before we get started, got a few housekeeping things we're going to get going. First of all, we want to make sure. Oh, give me 1 second here. I'm sorry. Yeah. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we've got the kids, that they're good to go, right? They're in a good safe space and things like that. Probably going to need at least a good 25, 30 minutes or so. Secondly, you want to make sure that your significant other is in the room. Okay. So you want to make sure that significant other is in the room. There's nothing like hearing the material firsthand. Okay. And if somebody's not there and you're trying to explain it, stuff sometimes gets missed in translation. And then last but not least, we want to make sure that we've got paper and pen so we can take some notes. This information is epic. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. And two, your memory, you're only going to remember so much. And by writing it down, you're more apt to remember more. So make sure you have that. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to set us up where we can see how far our reach is. In other words, I want to see where you're from. I'm going to put in the text box here, Pembroke, North Carolina. That's where I'm from. In the chat where you're from. This is, kind of overview. There, we want some participation here. There you go. Okay, Zephyrhills, Florida, of course, Miss Carol. Got Fayetteville, North Carolina, Miss Maria. Let's see, who else do we have? Anybody else? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Give you guys another second for that or so. Okay. So it looks like we're going to go ahead on. It looks like everybody's put their information in there. Give me 1 second here. All right. So now I want to introduce you guys to one of the heavy hitters of our organization. I'm stuttering tonight. I don't know why. Must be a little nervous in front of you folks. And this gentleman here was trained by Mr. Bean himself. That was the gentleman that was just in the video. Okay. And he knows 100% of the information. He's one of the people that I have the utmost respect for. He loves helping tons of people achieve their goals and dreams. And he also, he loves, I could just go on and on. But he has, his heart is with this organization. And I think if you get to know him, you'll see that soon. So I'm going to bring you guys off mute. And let's give it up for my friend Anthony Day. You should see an unmute, please.
Good evening.
Hey. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Look at all these people on the screen. Let us put your hands together, everybody. Go ahead and put your hands together. Give yourself a round of applause for being here tonight. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm excited to be here. And I have various reasons why I get excited when I do these overviews. I'm just an excitable person, first of all, but two main reasons why I'm excited to be here tonight. And they are, I get to share some information with you that you may not have been told about when you were growing up in school. The second reason, I get to introduce you to my newest business partner, all the way from Zephyrhills, Florida, Miss Carol Rivera Castillo. And is she out there on the screen right now? Can we pull her to the front? Can we spotlight her and have her come up to the front?
She's there.
She's there? Okay, great. Now, guys, listen. I'm going to take a pause for just a second. I want you to go ahead and give Mr. Wendell Acosta a round of applause for that introduction. He is brand spanking new, and I appreciate him stepping up to the plate. I know how nerve-wracking it can be to be the co-host. And just come off mute and give him a round of applause, guys. He did a great job. Do we have everybody off mute?
Yep.
Go ahead and give him a round of applause, if you will.
Great job.
Great job.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you all.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with the overview. Now, obviously, someone thought enough of you to send you an invitation because tonight we're going to be sharing some news breaking information. We're going to be sharing some techniques and strategies with you that you may not have been taught when you were growing up in school. So go ahead again and make sure you have your paper and your pen ready so that you can take some notes, okay? Now, before I start with this, please understand I'm not a long-winded individual. I do have one question for you. Now, we talk about that we at one point were the richest country in the world. Okay, I believe that's changed now. I want you to think about this for a second. So we were the richest country in the world. So why did we have people living on the street still? Okay. Why do we have people living paycheck to paycheck? And in most cases, living from paycheck to Thursday? These are questions that should have been asked years ago, and there's no solutions to that, or is there? Okay. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the rules that the wealthy have been using for years. We're going to pull back the veil so that you can see how easy it is for you to come out of whatever you may be in. Okay. But before we do that, we're going to go right to the lady of the hour, and Miss Rivera. Are you there? Can I hear you?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, ma'am. Would you like to say anything to the folks who are on with you tonight that are here to support you?
Yeah, I just want to say my name is Carol. As you guys already know, I am from Zephyrhills, Florida. I appreciate everybody showing up to support me and Mr. Acosta. I know he's brand new as a co-host. And thank you, Anthony, for introducing me to all these wonderful people, and excited to network with anyone and learn more about wealth and actually make some wealth.
Excellent. Thank you, ma'am, for coming on and welcoming everybody to your grand opening. All right, guys, listen, let's get right to it. We know that in order for you to be successful in anything that you do, you have to show up, right? That's where success starts to flourish, to begin. Now, we're going to go ahead, like I said, and get right into it. I'm not a long-winded individual. I like to hit the facts, and I like to keep it rolling, okay? Again, we're going to go into the facts now of talking about teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Everybody come off mute and say, teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork
Makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. So what I'm saying is it takes a team in order to be successful. Now, I want to be careful when I say this because he'll be taken the wrong way. It takes a team to be successful. What I mean by that is it takes a group of people who have been down the road that you're trying to travel. Someone that will fill in the potholes so that you don't step in them along the way. We call those people experts. Okay, those are the folks who help you avoid the pitfalls of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay, these folks are called experts in our field as well. Now, these are people, again, like I said, who have walked the path and they are there, they've made the mistakes already. So, okay, now making sure that I'm talking to the right people, I want you to come off mute and give me a let's go so we can get to these strategies. Give me a let's go. Come on, let me hear it. Let's get this energy flowing.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Let's
All
go.
right, guys, listen. I get this question all the time. What is MWR and the extra digit movement? Okay, and the simplest way that I can put this is like this. We are a group of people that are part of a wealth building community. Okay, we're talking stay-at-home moms and dads. We're talking about teachers. We're talking about lawyers, doctors, military active and retired. We're talking about entrepreneurs, your business owners. I mean, we all have specific skill sets, right? Now, we don't deal with sales. We're not in this for hype. We're not have a bunch of smoke and mirrors. You're not going to find that here. But what you will find is a group of motivated people who are here for one goal, and that is to increase their net worth one digit at a time. Now, for those of you who are just now joining me, my name is Anthony Day. I'm a proud member of the Extra Digit Movement, and I'm going to show you these strategies of the wealthy. Okay. Now, if you are here tonight, it's because someone invited you. They may have sent you a 7-minute video. And in that video, it was talking about wealth strategies. Okay. We're going to cover wealth strategy number 1 right now. If you can see my screen, please let me know when it pops up.
Yes, sir. Okay, I can see your screen now.
Excellent. Okay, so what we're talking about, guys, wealth principle number 1 is called cash asset cash flow. That's when you're taking a little bit of money that you've earned and you're putting it into an asset. And we're talking about like a currency. We're talking about stocks. We're talking about mutual funds, real estate, gold, and possibly some commodities, right? And that's going to go out. It's going to generate some more cash for you without you having to get a second job. And it's going to bring it back. Now, someone out there probably just said to yourself, or you may say to the partner next to you, well, see, that's the problem. We don't have no extra cash to be able to put into an asset so it will go out and create more money for us. That's the reason why we work the 9 to 5, right? So let me tell you guys, that is not an issue. And I'm going to explain the reason why it's not an issue. And make sure this thing rolls over. Got an error just popped up. Give me just a second. What do they say about Murphy's Law? There we go. Can everybody see the screen that says Extradigitmovement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So what I was explaining to you is the person who actually mentored me. Now, Mr. Brian M. Bean is the CEO of the Extradigitmovement. Now, what's special about Mr. Bean? He actually retired at the age of 22. He made his first million also at the age of 20, in his 20s. But he also lost his millions at the same age. So now the most impressive part about him was the fact that he got it all back in his 30s. Now, he is noted as the fastest and the first four-figure a day per day ring earner. And also he has created the most multi-million-dollar ring residual ring club earners. He is noted also for stating that he wanted to help 100,000 people live a legacy and not just leave a legacy for their family. We call him the GOAT, which is the greatest trainer of all times. Okay. Now, if you want to grow your net worth by an extra digit, then you're at the right place at the right time, because we have the privilege of working directly with Mr. Bean himself. Let me tell you about the other side of the powerhouse of this organization. The person that you see at the bottom right-hand side, that's Mr. Brian House. Now, Mr. House is the CEO of MWR Financial. Now, MWR Financial is a separate company that is noted as the ultimate cash flow company. They have been debt-free, and they are also have been in operation for 4.5 years. Now, they are the home of the Financial Edge membership, which our members get the opportunity to partake in this to be able to save on their personal finances. Now, he decided at one point that he didn't want to have people going over here, going over there to get the services that they needed. So he decided to take a company and form an umbrella and put all of the services underneath this one umbrella, which is now noted as Make Wealth Real, MWR. So by putting these services in one place, now you have the ability to have your credit work done, to have your taxes lowered, and also to deal with the other issues that we normally run into. He has created the Make Wealth Real Foundation. All right. So when it comes to money, this guy does not lose. Most of the companies that he's dealing with and has put together, they have 15 to 30 years of experience between them. So let's talk about the system itself. Now, if you look in the left side of the screen here, you see it's green, and you see the blue, and you see the red. Do me a favor and write down these three things: increase your cash flow, create cash flow, and multiply your cash flow. Okay, this is the MWR cash flow system. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to do better about increasing our current cash flow. The key is that you got to figure out what or who is stopping you from actually getting your wealth and then get that money back from that entity. So on the first side, where the green is, the experts will help you increase your cash flow. And we're going to talk about how that works. In the middle, you'll see create cash flow. That is generating an additional stream of income. And then on the third level, multiply your cash flow. That's taking the money that has been created from the first part and then multiplying it by putting it in an asset. Now, let me be perfectly clear when I say this. You do not have to show nobody anything. You do not have to introduce anyone to anything. You have no, you don't have to even try to convince anyone to do anything. What you see there is, in the first level, increase your cash flow is income stream number one in the green. It's all about getting the experts to get your financial house in order, okay? It does not require you to call or a telephone. Now, if you're okay with someone taking your current money and making it more, then that is the option that you want to go with. Now, in the middle, you see the blue is to create the cash flow. If you are interested in actually getting those daily checks that you heard about in the video, the monthly checks, the bonuses, then that is the option that you want to go for. The third option, again, is connected to the first, which is to multiply your cash flow. That's when you're utilizing the other services that are available to you. And we're going to cover those in just a second. So let me go ahead and let the air out of the balloon. Okay. It is $149 per month. That is your initial investment. Now, in the comments below, in the chat box, go ahead and type in it's only $149. Type in only $149. This is the membership. Okay. Now, your average return is $2,000 back into your household. Again, your investment's only $149, but you're getting $2,000 back into your household. Okay. Two things just happened when I said that $149. Let me tell you what they were. The old you popped up on your shoulder and said, see, I knew there was a catch. I knew there was something going on with this. I can't afford to put in any money in anything to make what you're telling me is going to happen. Okay. The other you sat back and said for a second, so you're telling me that I can get people who are experts in the field, invest $149 per month, and they will go to work on my personal finances. And they're going to show me how they're going to bring back in $2,000 back into my household. $149 versus $2,000. I don't know about you, but I think that's an even trade-off. Actually, it's kind of unfair because they're giving you more back. Now, if the membership brings you to an average of $2,000 per back, and then they're generating another source for you to put money in, we're talking about diversified fund account. You're putting money into it, and it's now doubling. When you want to put that option in the front of you, I mean, when you want to do that versus not doing that, it makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you. All right. So who's doing all the work? Let's talk about who's actually giving you the services. If you look on the left-hand side, we're talking about increasing your cash flow. Reducing my taxes is when the experts come in and reduce your personal taxes for you. These are EAs. They are enrolled agents with the IRS. They are the individuals who will be working with you. These folks are certified by the IRS, and they have the highest certification in the organization. Okay. Lowering your bills. These are experts who are actually working to negotiate your everyday bills down. We're talking about your phone bill, your water bill, your electric bill. These are bills you can submit. I didn't even know that was even possible, to be honest with you. So eliminating my debt, these are the folks who come in and work on your interest-bearing accounts, okay, that have interest on them. Raising your credit score, these guys, again, over 15 to 20 some years of experience, they'll come in and help you raise your credit score, which is going to help you lower your interest. The last thing that you see on that left-hand side is called Keys to Home Ownership. Now, that's a program that I am personally excited about because I'm taking part in it right now. What they do is they will meet you halfway on a program to help you with purchasing a home. But we're going to come back to that, okay? On the front side here, you should see where it says no setup fees. That means there's no additional fees involved in this at all. With the spouse, you can have someone else participate with this program, preferably someone who is either married to you. They don't have to be. They can be your significant other. If you look at the red side, we're talking about the people who are going to be helping you generate more income. Diversified cash flow account, that is your savings account on steroids. The private reserve account, that is when you're becoming your own bank. That basically means it's like a 401k without them penalizing you for taking money out of the account. Now, if you're familiar with the 401k, if you withdraw money from the account, they smack you on the hand and they charge you a fee for it. And then you got to work to get to putting that money back in there. With a private reserve account, that does not happen. And right below that, you see land banking. This gives you the option to purchase land in key points in the country. Right now, we have purchases that have been completed in Antelope, California. These parcels of land are being held by our members. So when they bring the Olympics in, when they bring the speed train in, when they're bringing BMW in, they have to put these items on something, and it's called land. And as you know, God is not making no more land, okay? So they have to put it somewhere. Who are they going to come to? Everybody come off me and say, they're going to put it on me, say my land. Let me hear you come out here. On my land. Okay. And moving on, guys. We're down here where it says, trust my assets. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but that's basically when they're going to bulletproof your assets to where when you get sued, they can't get your assets, okay? And we'll talk more about that too. All right. So Cash flow stream number one, we know it's your current income. Three things have to go up and three things have to go down. Mr. Acosta, do me a favor and explain how we take the current cash flow and we move towards passive cash flow.
Sure, Mr. Day. So here's what you do. You got to lower your taxes. When you lower your taxes, your income is going to go up. Okay, that's less you're sending to the feds or whatever. If you decrease your debt, your credit score is going to go up. So if you take that extra income you made and your credit scores go up, then those credit cards and things like that's not going to be charging you as much interest. All right, so that's going to reduce your debt. You take those funds and you lower your expenses, and you can start investing and help your money grow with assets. And that's how you go from your current cash flow to a more passive.
Okay, great. So tell the folks that are watching tonight what the total tax reduction is that we have currently for our members.
Well, right now, Mr. Day, the average tax saving per member is $200 to $600. That's every month. Okay, and that's a total tax reduction of $250 million saved. Okay,
and what's the average debt eliminated?
Well, average debt eliminated per member, right, is $64,000 saved. So if you take and look at the number of years it's reduced people's debt, that's 37,000 years that they've eliminated that debt.
That's awesome. So on average per month?
So average.
Our bill negotiators, what have they saved?
Yes. So, Mr. Anthony, we're talking average per month of $140 saved, and that's with total negotiations equaling up to $3.5 million saved.
Now, I got a little surprise for you, because as of last night, that number has increased to 10.2 million.
Wow.
10.2 million. Excellent. All right, guys, listen. So on average, the experts, again, using the basic concept of the current cash flow and the multiplier cash flow, is going to bring an average of $2,000 back into your household. Now, I told you earlier I was excited about this program here, which is the Keys to Home Ownership. I want to go over this with you real quick. There are 4-step ladders to this. And again, the way the company works is like this. They take a person who's pretty much a homeowner, or I should say a renter. They're a yearly renter. They've never owned a home before. And but they have the desire to have their own home. So what are the two things that usually stop a person from being able to qualify? We know it's their credit, and we know it's a down payment. Okay. The company looks at you and they say, you know what, you're going to fall within one of these 4-step ladders. And then we'll start from there with assisting you. So I'm going to pick one real quick. Looking at the first one, which says rent, it says bronze right below it. That's when you're actually building up your down payment while you're still living in the home. Now, do you know of any program that will allow you to live in the home while you're building up the down payment? I don't. Also, looking at the second option, you got the silver. Okay, in this one here, you're actually earning monthly credits towards your down payment while you're building your current credit on this stats. Okay, eventually you move all the way up to the platinum level, which allows you to just basically purchase a home straight out. Now, some people will qualify at that level. Some will be at the gold, some will be at silver, some will be at bronze, but the company will meet you wherever you are. All right, what you're looking up here now is the Charles and Judith Ivory. We call them the power couple of our organization. Mr. Acosta, would you like to explain who they are and what they have done?
So absolutely. So Mr. Charles and Miss Judith, of course, took a hold of this opportunity that you're showing folks tonight, and they were able to increase their credit scores. And Mr. Charles, his went from went up to an 800, and Miss Judith, hers is an 815. They're both owners of 2 private reserve accounts and 2 land banking parcels. Their dream was to build a home. Well, the land for that dream paid in full, debt free. And I think this here might be outdated as well, because at the particular time here, they're showing it was $360 daily guarantee. That's $10,800 a month. And I think it's a little bit more than that now, from what I gather. And now, do you want to tell them the backstory, Mr. Dale?
I sure will. There is a backstory to this couple here, and basically what it is that Mr. Ivory used to work on a military base. Now they're from Georgia, and everyone knows a couple of years back the pandemic struck, and it put a lot of people out of work. Now, unfortunately, he was one of those individuals. He wasn't considered to be an essential worker. He approached them and said, "Look, we can't keep you on. We're going to have to let you go, and you're going to have to fend for yourself." During this time period, Mr. Ivory again met with Mr. Bean. They got to talking. He started generating income. The company calls Mr. Ivory back and said, "Hey, everything's going good. We can bring you back to work." Mr. Ivory looked at him and said, basically, "I'm sorry, but you're fired." He actually fired his own boss and told him basically he was the weakest link. So now I want you to imagine something. I'll tell you that story because, I mean, not only is it outstanding, the recovery, but imagine going to work tomorrow and you get handed a pink slip. And everybody knows what a pink slip is. Basically, they're letting you go, okay, with a reason or without a reason. What would you do? Okay, if you don't have a safety net like the Ivories did, you're going to be in a hardship. You will be in a hardship. I want you to just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. So let's go back and recap real quick. We've talked about two things of the three that you see there. Increasing your cash flow. Again, that's when the experts come in and work on your financial house. These are the experts working on reducing your taxes, lowering your bills, eliminating your current debt, your interest-bearing debt, and raising your credit score. And then you have the option also for keys to home ownership. In the red, you saw the diversified cash flow. That's tied in with the increase your cash flow. That's your savings account on steroids. Basically, you have an account that you can access within 72 hours or less. And you can basically say how much and how and when you're going to pay it back. You have control over that. That is your money. You don't get penalized. You don't get your hand slapped. It is your account. The private reserve account is being your own bank. Again, it's a long-term process, like a 401k. But again, you don't get penalized for having to access that money. Land banking. Land banking is when you're purchasing land at the low wholesale cost, being in the path of growth. Basically, you're in the way. When these large companies come in and they need to build on your property, they have to pay you the retail cost of whatever it is at that time. But trust my assets, you now have that foundation built. This company will come in and show you how to create your own foundation to where you are bulletproofing your assets and your income. The middle that you see in blue, this is where you generate extra income. Okay, this is that extra stream of income we're talking about. With a one-time upgrade of $100, which now brings it to $249, that's your investment. That one time, that will now allow you to be able to access the income side of this. That means you'll be able to generate the daily checks, the monthly checks, the bonus checks, the performance checks, all of these things that I'm about to show you in just a few minutes. Again, it's a one-time upgrade of $100, which is $249.97, and the monthly goes back to $149.97 per month. And don't forget that these totals and things I'm telling you about are actually a write-off because you are now a business owner. So how do you make money in this company? It's very simple. Everyone has at one point or another, actually, let me get some participation. Who do we have out there right now? Can everybody come off mute? Who do we got up there? Miss Castillo, can you come to the front, please?
Sure.
Hey, Miss Castillo, let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
When was the last time you went to, say, Walmart, saw something that was really interesting, right? And you were like, you know what, my girlfriend would like this. And she goes and buys the same item. When did Walmart send you a check for that referral?
No, not
No?
even a penny.
Not even a penny? Okay. All right. So basically, they don't pay you a referral for sending people to their company, correct?
Correct.
Well, that's where we're different. This is where NWR steps in and says, look, we're going to give you guys $50 for every person that comes and says, hey, I like what you guys are doing, and I want to be a part of your business circle. Thank you, ma'am, for participating, okay?
No problem.
So guys, you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So again, I stated that they would pay you $50 per individual that says, hey, I want to be a part of your company. That is per individual. Now, if you look over to the right-hand side, you see momentum bonus. This is where they're going to give you an additional 150 within the first 30 days when you expose and you show someone else what you're doing, and they say, hey, I want to do that too. They're going to pay you an additional 150 on top of the $50 per person when you first started. In 60 days, we're going to expose 3 more folks. And we're going to show them too. They'll pay you an additional $450. In the 90-day mark, again, that is when you'll hit the $900. We're looking at a total of $1,500 within 90 days of actually being in the business. Now, if you're like me, you need to have an illustration, okay? So I'm going to break this down so you can see it in a drawing. Now, watch my cursor over here. This is where you are, okay? And again, we're going to expose people to the business, right? We're going to show them what we're doing. We're not trying to sell them anything. We're just going to give them the video and let them watch. So 3 of those people that you show the video to come back and say, hey, you know what? That was pretty cool. I want to do what you're doing. The 4th person says, I really don't want to do that, but I do want those experts to come and work on my financial house. That way they can get me straight. Great, no problem. We're going to show these 3 people right here how they can self-fund their business, basically. So basically the government's paying for their business, okay? Now, with 3 people and a customer that's 3 to 1, you're now making $150 per month because they paid you 50, 50, 50, okay? We're going to show your first business partner how they can self-fund their business like you just did. That's something that we will do as the organization, not you. We will come in and host a Zoom just like we're doing right now. We're going to show these 3 people how to self-fund. We're going to show this person here, their 3 people how to self-fund, and of course the 3rd person how to self-fund. You now have a total of 12 people in your organization, which now qualifies you for level 2, earning $600 a month on your daily guarantee. Okay. Now, when we talk about the performance bonuses, because success loves speed, when you're ranked as an executive director 2, that is $300 a week that you could receive. Okay. That basically means within the first week of the month, you have 6 people that say, hey, I want to join this organization. I want to make money like you guys are making money. The company will pay you an additional $300 that week, and then it resets the following week. So there's a possibility that you could do 300 in the first of the week, the second week, the 3rd week, and the 4th week of the month, in addition to what you're already doing on a daily basis. So as you progress through the ranks, ranked as an ED3, Executive Director 3, you now qualify for coded bonuses. So now you're receiving $30 per person that comes through the ranks, 40 all the way up to $150 per person. Now, this is not the daily guarantee. This is an additional coded bonus that you will receive. Executive Director 2. We just looked at that, right? Right above that, you see Executive Director. That's where everyone starts, making $5 a day, $150 a month, which is a total of $1,825 a year. As you progress to Executive 2, that's $20 daily, $600 a month, at $7,000 per year. Jumping down to Executive 3, that's $50 a day, that is $1,500 a month, at a total of $18,000 a year. Now listen, it gets crazy as you start to get up further. Look at this right here, 900 points, which is Regional Director, that's $200 a day, $6,000 a month at $73,000 a year. Now, to qualify for the Residual Millionaire Club ring earner, you have to have 1,400 points, which is $300 daily guarantee, $9,000 a month, which now puts you at $109,500 per year. You want to be a millionaire? This is what we have to do. 13,000 points. Daily, the daily pay is $3,000 per day. Monthly, it's $90,000. Annually, you're now at $1,995,000. So how do you know when all this stuff is going to come in and when it's going to start showing up into your account? You actually will get daily checks notifications on your cell phone. So you'll notice over here to the left-hand side, right here, this is the first one where it says daily guarantee of $5. $5. And notice the dates, June 30th of 2023, Wednesday, February the 1st, okay, $5. Now they will jump, this is Mr. Bean's old printout, by the way, to $200 a day, $200 a day, $200 a day. Here you see it jump to $300 a day. And then over here on the right-hand side, $500 a day. That's when you hit level 9. And then down below, you see where it says $1,000 a day? That's currently where he is right now. So what we're talking about, guys, cash flow stream number 3, which is the third option, which allows you to generate income. Because there's several ways that you can make money in the company, but these are the companies that will help you multiply. The DCA, which is the diversified cash flow account, allows you to multiply your income because of the interest that you're developing. It is your savings account on steroids. Under the manage your trades, we're gonna actually skip over that because that's no longer available. Underneath the MWR assets, that's where they're going to bulletproof your assets so that you are basically you have a foundation that's protecting your income and protecting your assets. The private reserve account, being your own bank, that's like your retirement. It's like a 401k, but you don't get penalized for touching the money. You also have your keys to home ownership, which allows you to be a homeowner if you are looking to go that route. And of course, the last thing that you see there is the NWR land banking, being in the way, the path of growth to where you are able to step up and say, look, I'm going to buy a parcel of land. I'm going to hold it into my family. And some big company is going to come through and say, hey, we need to use that land. So we're going to give you X amount of dollars to be able to build on it. Being in the way is what we call it. Now, we were talking about the Trust My Assets. With the Trust My Assets, like I mentioned earlier, they're going to set up these trust funds for you. A business trust, a family trust, and a foundation. You hear about these people who donate money all the time about, to these colleges. Well, what you probably don't know is that a portion of that income actually comes back. Okay. That's something that you'll be able to discuss with the actual expert on your consultation. But being able to protect your assets is very important so that they are not pierced when someone's trying to sue you. All right, guys, we know that we can show you things in paper and we can talk about things until we're blue in the face, but it's more important that you can actually conversate with someone who's actually receiving the benefits of the program. So we do have some people on tonight that are going to come on and give their testimonial on what MWR Financial has done for them. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And do we have someone out there that would like to give their testimony? If you raise your hand for me, please. Your virtual hand or your real hand. Who's that? That's Miss Niet Ridgway. We got Mr. Jason Thomas also raising his hand. There she goes. She's spotlighted.
Good evening.
Hello, how are you doing, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. So tell us, first of all, what do you do?
Me, like far as employment?
Yes.
I'm a project manager, clinical research project manager.
Okay, great. And what's your story in regards to how NWR has helped you?
Well, first they got me some money back on my paycheck. I got over $200 back in my paycheck, which helped me to self-fund my business. And then as far as my credit, they helped increase my credit score several times in different integers. This last integers, it went up by 8 points. So I've been excited for being with MWR for about 3 years now. Going out and I love the environment. I love the mentorship, and I love the experts.
They do a lot for you beyond the actual obvious, which is the financial aspect of it. All right, thank you, ma'am, for giving your testimony.
All right.
I believe we have a Mr. Jason Thomas.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing better than amazing, man. I'm out here enjoying some of this sun out here. You know, it's been raining in Texas these past couple of days, but I wanted to hop on and share my testimony with the people, if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Hey, I gotta say, man, you're doing an excellent job as always, Anthony, sharing this information. And Carol, hey, welcome to the family. You know, this is awesome. We in Florida. We about to take over the whole Southern coast, man. So real quick, I'm gonna be quick before it get loud and everybody start cheering. I'm at a soccer game. But yeah, I gotta echo what Niet said and what you've been sharing today. You know, this company, MWR Financial and Make Wealth Real and Extradigitmovement, man. We've been doing things with this company I never even heard of. You know, the stuff we learn each and every day with this organization is stuff they don't teach in school. Right. And real quick, you know, I'm 19 years in active duty federal service. I'm in the Army right now, Chief Warrant Officer, for any veterans out there that know what that is. And year after year, I couldn't understand how I'm getting more money, but it wasn't staying with me. You know, now with 6 kids, you know, you'd be like, well, you feed all them kids, but the kids aren't the most expensive. And neither was my wife. It was these taxes that we was paying out. And the experts showed me, just like Niet, where I was losing thousands of dollars a year. And instantly, when I uploaded my last 2 pay stubs, my last year's tax return, they got me $2,400 a year back into my paycheck. I told enough people about that the company started paying me $600, Anthony. Now, Carol, when you put $200 and $600 together, I don't do math in public, but that's simple math. That's $800 in extra cash flow per month. Now, I don't know about anybody on here, but $800, the Army would never pay me an $800 pay increase within the first year, the second year, the third year, let alone within the first 60 days of working with a company. I don't know any other company that does that. But on top of this, all those bonuses that you mentioned, so you put all that together, and then you show me, and you not only show me, but you take my credit reports, take me from a 644 to the mid 700s. I didn't have to do nothing but submit my credit reports. Then you get me out of debt within the first 2 months with this company. Can you say winning? I mean, that's winning on multiple sectors. That's cash flow back into my house, less money I have to pay out. And then lastly, I got into that private reserve account. So now I'm growing my money for retirement and double-digit returns. And then because they're paying me this money, I'm paying my private reserve account with the money. I'm paying off a new car with the money, and my business is self-funded. Look, Carol, I went from self-funding my business to making a profit with 12 people, $600 a month, and on my way to overflowing with that $1,500 per month and above. So you can't get no better than this with this company. And don't let me get started on the tax benefits at the end of the year. So last year, I was able to deduct over $55,000 out of my taxable income. So instead of hitting me over the head with a $70,000 income ratio and taxing me on 30% of that, my income on paper into the IRS looked like $18,000. Now, I don't know about y'all, but let me break this down. If you was to get taxed 10% on $100,000, that's $10,000, right? Well, imagine getting taxed on only $18,000 at 10%. That's $1,800. You see how much money you save? And all I did was plug in with these experts. They showed me how to turn my everyday expenses, like eating out. I eat out a lot, for those that know me, and driving around in my automobile, my electricity bill, my cell phone bill. It's stuff we do every day, Anthony and Carol. Now you get to take advantage of this opportunity and share it with the world. Hey, I thank y'all so much. Y'all be blessed. Man, I'm ready for another testimony.
Mr. Thomas, I tell you what, it's always a pleasure hearing you give your testimony. So much energy. Hey, and I appreciate you for your service also. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Jason Thomas all the way from Killeen, Texas. From Killeen. Let me jump back up on the screen here. Do we have anyone else that would like to give a testimony? Mr. Acosta?
Well, I'll just simply say that I was overpaying. Oh, 1 second. Let me pin myself. I'll just simply say that I was overpaying my taxes too. $200, a little over $200 a month. And so I was a little skeptical at first, you know, to be honest with you. I was like, it sounds too good to be true, but okay, I know how to upload forms. I mean, you know, it's just, they're already on my computer, just okay, upload. And so, and then it even tells you, it's like, okay, well, it's either 24 or 48 hours. It'll give you your W4. I think it's a W4, W2, whatever it's called. And you give that to your resource folks. And I work with a school system. So, we get paid the first of the month every month. And so this was already like, I don't know, like the 20th or so. So I'm like, I probably missed this month. I don't know, but I'm gonna submit it all the same, just because. So sure enough, I submitted to human resources, and boom, next thing I know, 2 weeks later, there's an extra, I want to say it was like $211 or something like that in my check. Already self-funded just from that one strategy. So, hey, and now I can use that towards debt. Uncle Sam ain't going to be paying me no interest. So if I'm paying that towards credit cards or some other debt that's at whatever percentage, that's the percentage I'm saving. Uncle Sam's not giving you interest on the money they're holding for a tax refund. I'm just saying.
That is very true. And thank you again, sir, for giving your testimony. Guys, this is the end of my overview. My name is Anthony Day, and I'm going to give you my testimony on what the NWR Financial has done for me. I started in business at a very young age. I was 17 years old when I owned my first business, and I did not have the support from personal friends and family. I was basically told that I could not do it. I didn't have the know-how. Luckily, though, I did not stop there, and I kept pushing forward to achieve my goals. Luckily, I ran into Mr. Bean and the organization, and he basically taught me what I should have been doing back then. See, back then at 17, I was bringing in $150,000 a year, which was about 10 to 12 grand per month. Take home was 4166.67. Well, the problem was I was excellent at making this money, and I was even better at spending it. So I didn't have nothing left to be able to show for it. So here I am sitting before you at the age of 51, trying to get back to that position in life. But with Mr. Bean and Mr. House, I've actually positioned myself now to be in the position to maintain 5 to 6 figures per month. And I have my own private reserve account, just like Mr. Thomas does. So we're getting 10 times the money coming in, right? On top of that, I am debt free. The company has helped me become debt free. Yes. Okay. And I'm also self-funded as well. So guys, trust me when I tell you this. This is something that you don't want to pass up on. It is something you do not want to pass up on. So that is my moment of fame. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to finish off on the overview. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Moving on. So at this point of the overview, this is a time frame where we have to, kind of reflect. Guys, listen, sometimes we assume that people think certain ways of us. You can't let that stop you from taking action on things that are going to benefit you and your family, okay? Your confusion about what an expense and what an investment is, okay? You can't stop that from allowing you to take action on something that's going to help you and your family. Your indecision, it is a decision. You cannot let standing still and not moving affect your progression in life. Things that happened to you in the past don't dictate what's going to happen to you now, today. You can take action on these steps. Now, you've probably been praying for something, and lo and behold, here it is in front of you. Okay, here it is in front of you. So my name again is Anthony Day. I'm a proud member of the Extradigitmovement, and we are here to help you grow your net worth one digit at a time. So the people that are on the Zoom tonight, you are either a 1 or a 2. You are an individual who wants to access just the experts to have them work on your personal finances to get your house in order. That is $149 per month. And then that's the number 2. If you are number 1, you are an individual who wants it all. You want everything. You're saying you could have stopped hello when I was explaining the program to you as one-time payment of $100, which is the upgrade. And it is a total of $249 for that payment. Okay. After that, it's only $149 per month, and you have access to everything, including us, to come in and do your grand openings as well too. So once again, guys, my name is Anthony Day. That's my time. Thank you for coming out. I would like to thank you once again for taking the time to patronize us, and also to come out for Miss Miss Rivera Castillo. Miss Castillo, you're up on the screen. Can we get you to come off mute?
All right. I just want to say thank you for all being here and sharing the testimonials. I did want to share one tip though, as soon as Anthony gave me like a whole day of the lecture how to use the program and everything. I did submit a bill for my cable and bam, I got a discount like the very next day. So I was like, okay, $40 extra in my pocket is awesome.
You can't fake it. You just can't fake it. Not at all. Guys, yes, thank you, ma'am, for coming up and closing us out. Again, my name is Anthony Day, trying to get past your mind and into your heart so you can make the right decisions. Remember, like I always say on my overviews, they tell us that we look like our parents when we're born, but we look more like our decisions once we die. Y'all have a great night.
Good night.
Awesome job.